Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming a video that I have been so excited to film. It has taken me 4 weeks, a full month, to come to this place and film this video for you. So I just spent the last 4 weeks testing 4 different injection sites of my GLP-1 medication that I get through LEMD. So I did my stomach, my thigh, my upper arm, and like my love handle area. Now, before you stop and say, Heather, why are you doing 4 different injection sites when the little packet that comes with the medication only shows 3? It actually only shows the area around your stomach, your upper thigh, and your upper arm. But while I was doing some research before I started my GLP-1 medications, I saw that some med spas were actually like showing injections, like injecting people in like their love handle area. And I thought, well, okay, that kind of makes sense because it's anywhere that you can get like a nice good grip on your fat, right? Because it's a sub-Q injection, a subcutaneous fat injection. Anywhere that you have a lot of that subcutaneous fat should be a good spot to inject, right? So this is where like the science experiment part of it comes into play. Also, my husband's a pharmacist, so he like didn't have any negative thing to say about it. He was just like, yeah, go ahead, try it. So there's that. Also, I mean, I'm not a doctor, nor do I pretend to play one on the internet. So this is just all my experiment and experimentation with my body. I'm not telling you that this is where you should be injecting, but you can try it too if you want to after you see my experience. So as I went through the entire month, I tracked everything, any negative side effects, good side effects, bruising, soreness, energy levels. And the number one thing to track, did my weight fluctuate in a good way or a bad way depending on the injection site? And let me tell you, some of the differences were bigger than I expected. So if you've ever wondered, does injection site matter? Then keep watching this video because I have the real world results for you. And again, I am not a doctor, nor do I pretend to play one on the internet, like I said. So this is just my real world results and experiences. Obviously, always consult your provider or your physician that you're working with to get your medication from. But if you're curious to find out what kind of different sites, how they differ, what the experiences are, follow along. So why injection sites matter, like why different injection sites matter, is all based on your personal body, but like your fat distribution, skin sensitivity, or skin scarring. Like I have a lot of stretch marks from my 2 pregnancies. So that's something that I needed to pay attention to. Scar tissue, like those stretch marks, and like nerve density kind of around your body. Different spots of your body have more nerves than the other. And when you're injecting these GLP-1 medications, especially, week by week, even a small difference can change how you feel for the rest of the days of the week. So for this whole next month, I am actually going to be trying out 4 different injection sites, if I didn't already say that in the little intro. And I apologize about the terrible lighting, but it is what it is in the kitchen versus the bathroom. So 2nd month, and my dose is still 50 units. So that's easy to remember. Okay, now I will bring this upstairs. All right, guys, so I'm in the bathroom and I am all done, ready for bed. And my syringe has been sitting out and getting nice and room temperature for me. So tonight I am going to do my shot in my stomach. That is my usual place that I do it. I've always done it in my stomach for the past 2 years. So this is my comfort zone, at least for the first week, as we have a new dose. And just like that, there was no pain at all. Like I said, I think that's my preferred spot to do it in. I think certain spots in my stomach, because I've had 2 C-sections, are actually numb still, 2 years later. So that might be why I prefer my stomach, because in certain spots I can't feel a thing. After this, I will update you throughout the week. We'll see how this new dose does. So the first week I started with my stomach, and that is because that's just I always do the injections in my stomach. I wanted to start somewhere safe, so I kind of had a good baseline because I knew kind of like a lot of stuff wasn't going to change, especially like not a big difference, even though I was bumping up to from the 0.25 to the 5. I wanted to start somewhere that I felt safe in my stomach. It was just something that I felt comfortable with until I moved on to the other sites. This is also kind of like the default site that everyone goes to because it's like a good location. You can see everything for yourself. You can do it by yourself, which is a note coming up for the other injection sites. And I made some notes that I'm gonna read off my computer. So obviously it's the easiest to pinch, and it was the quickest, smoothest injection just because I had been, you know, used to that area. No soreness afterward, and had the same energy level as the previous week, no nausea, minimal food noise, nothing really changed. And my weight change going into the next week, I went from 177.8 to 176.4. So a good week, a loser week, if you will. We lost weight, that's great. For week 2, I did my thigh. Again, another area that is easy to pinch. I can do it by myself, don't need anyone's help. The pain was actually super tolerable. I thought maybe, you know, because it's kind of like a thicker skin, or, you know, it was easy to pinch, but a little bit more difficult to pinch than my stomach. I had bruising and tenderness in this spot that I was not prepared for. I also bled the most in this spot. It was nothing dramatic, but definitely more than any other injection sites. So there's a little bit of bruising and a little bit of redness at the injection site. Definitely tender too, and when I go to touch it, I can feel a lump right there. A little bit of a lump. So I haven't had this experience when I injected in my stomach, so I will just keep an eye on it. It's not too bad, and we'll see what the rest of the month brings at the other 2 injection sites. And again, no change in energy, nausea, appetite, that sort of thing. I didn't really have any of like those types of changes throughout this month. As you'll find out, most of the changes were like at the injection site itself. And the weight change after I injected from that week was, so I went from 176.4, like that previous week, to 175.6. So again, another good week, another loser week. For week 3, I did my upper arm, which is technically the last official spot that, you know, they give you as injection sites. Now this one, I would say you need a partner to help you. You need to recruit someone to help you do this, because you can't really, like, how are you gonna pinch and inject? Like, it just doesn't work by yourself. So I don't think a lot of people actually do it in their arm unless they have someone to help them out. So this time I had a lot of burning, like so intense burning, even though I did my usual routine. I left out the medication to come to room temperature. I think this was due to, there's 2 parts of this. I think number 1 was my injector, which was my pharmacist husband. He is used to injecting, you know, vaccines to people when he worked at a retail pharmacy. So what he did it too quickly. I should have told him my process where I inject and then I count to 10 and slowly. No, he just boom, boom, and plunged it in. It hurt so bad. So I think that's on him, not on the injection site. Or the second part of it, I think that's where I have my lipedema. And, you know, that fat distribution there, it's a little more like grainy and granular and hard. That could have come into play with why it hurt so much more. Afterward, I felt nothing, like no tenderness, no bruising. It was just like during the actual injection, it hurt so bad, and I will never do it again in my arm. Or at least never have my husband do it again in my arm. And my change after that week, my weight change was 176.4 to 177.2. This is the first time that I had actually gone up in weight. After the arm injection, that next week, I went up in weight. So again, another tick against, or red flag, or whatever you want to say, against the arm I'm not gonna do it in my arm again. Okay, and week 4, I moved on to the mystery spot, or the surprise entry here, the love handle or like flank area. Easy to pinch, barely felt it. I could do it myself. The only thing I had to work around was, same thing with my stomach, like a lot of my stretch marks. Like, you do not want to inject in a stretch mark. That's going to hurt and bleed so bad because the skin is so thin in a stretch mark. So I kind of had to do it in a spot that I wasn't really planning to. I really wanted to do it in my love handle, but my love handle is just like full of stretch marks. So I kind of had to move it over and migrate over. So it was kind of stomach adjacent instead of stomach versus love handle, but it is what it is. Again, it was just an experiment. So yeah, I barely felt it as I was putting it in. No bruising, but there was mild soreness, I would say, after the injection, and some stinging that I didn't have, like in my stomach. Even though I moved just over a little bit, there was stinging. So I wasn't used to that. I would say that next week I had, or this last week, because this is when I'm filming it, I just did it last Wednesday. I definitely had more food noise, but it is time for me to dose up anyway. I'll be going up tonight because it's Wednesday, so that's my injection night. And I definitely had lower energy this past week, but it was also that time of the month. So a lot of these factors go into when you're deciding whether to dose up or not. So if you watched my other video, which I'll link up above, you can watch, don't click over now, but watch after this video. You'll see that a lot of factors go into when you're deciding whether to stay at your current dose or to dose up. So for me, the fact that I gained weight last week and now the food noise is starting to come back, there's 2 points against that. So 2 red flags, and for me that means it's time to dose up, which I was going to anyway with my titration schedule with LEMD, because this is only my 2nd month starting. So maybe for some people, for you, like if you watch my other video, if you don't have any food noise, if you're still losing weight, if you're not having any negative side effects, keep doing what you're doing and stay at that dose and see how long you can ride it out. So for me, the weight change, I went from 177.2 to 176.0. So that was another good loser week. I think my stomach area is kind of like the best bet for me and maybe for a lot of people. So here is my final ranking. Number 1, stomach, no surprise. Strongest results, strongest side effects, like the good side effects that you want, and obviously the easiest to inject. You can do it by yourself. You don't need anyone's help. You're in control, basically. Number 2, the love handle or flank area. Again, predictable, low drama, and like I said, I didn't really go into my love handle specifically just because I have stretch marks all in that area on both sides, so it was more like stomach adjacent, which you saw in the video. Number 3 is the thigh. I would only say that because of the bruising and the tenderness that I experienced, and also this is just the last location that I tested out that you can actually do yourself and you don't need someone to help you. So for easy access, it gets the number 3 spot, but for last place, it's really a tie between thigh and arm because I just did not enjoy the thigh at all because of the bruising and the tenderness that I experienced. And yeah, so last place is the upper arm, number 4. I ranked this last because you need someone to help you. You're not in control. Somebody else has to do it for you. And some people might not have somebody else to help them out, or if they do have a partner, they might be squeamish about needles or not have the experience and they wouldn't feel comfortable injecting you. And for me, usually I inject right before I go to bed, so my husband's already laying in bed, he's relaxing. I don't want to like disturb him and wake him up and make him come do this to me every week. I'll just you know, take care of it myself. And also, I gained weight the week that I I got the injection in my arm. So that's never happened before. Straight away, I was like, nope, upper arm is cut off. You're dead to me, upper arm. So what I learned through this past month is that if you feel like your dose isn't working for you, or suddenly you feel like it's not working for you anymore, try changing your injection site. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Why not? I mean, you might be shocked at how different it feels, or the different side effects you have, or the actual like reaction to the injection site. So comment below, let me know what is your go-to or favorite injection site, and if you kind of experimented yourself, like if you did any sort of different ones and how that like played out for you. I would love to know. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up because it helps other GLP-1 users find this video, and this could be useful to them too. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little science experiment that I had on myself. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully this helps you in your journey. Like I said, it's nothing to stress about. If you feel like an injection site is not working for you anymore, just switch it up and see what happens. It's no big deal. It's just 1 week out of, you know, the rest of your life, really. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.